I don't know, like. That's right. It's 1%, you know? We can have a meeting, but. We can.
Yeah.
You might let Jimmy. Jimmy was a non-board member.
Oh, Jimmy Wood.
Yeah.
Very nice with you.
The back of his dog.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I guess. I appreciate that. Sounds like ours. Yeah, that's a year and a half. No, it's four. It's free. Yeah, yeah. Four.
You don't have to start the meeting yet, but I started the recording and the webinar.
Getting these to give to the committee members.
You know, just like I'm putting two one.
Want to make sure we have captions on. One, two, three, four. Yep.
Yeah.
What's my magic number?
8.
Yeah. Okay. One. Oh, good. One.
If you're joining us on Zoom, we have not started the meeting yet.
Yo.
Right, right, that's what I'm saying. Well, everybody that's here is a committee member, right?
Yes, but they're not the same format.
Gotcha.
People in the format. Their attendance is taking place.
Joining and then she's fine. She would have been, yeah, Hector's definitely not.
Yep.
Moshe probably won't come because it's a holiday tonight. Sammy, Sam, Sam Sierra is not on there?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's on. He told me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we'll start in, so it happens here, so we should get some people here, we'll start. Good. We have a discussion and then we'll just go to the full board, speak, right? What do you say?
And I'm good.
We gotta move it up, right?
Yep.
Okay, this goes here. Good deal, one is here.
Are there any other applicants here? I have two applicants that I've checked in.
No? Okay. I'll do two seven here. Mr. Ramon does the role in Spanish, that's the next one. Okay. All right, that's what
I feel like I've got four.
Here's the other side.
So,
Cynthia, the closed caption is just capturing English.
Okay,
So, the Spanish will look like gibberish.
okay.
I'll mention it.
Okay.
So that people know.
Right.
we need to call,
How you doing?
we need to call attention on that.
On deck? This isn't the Navy, Jerry.
Hey, floor, head, bathroom, toilet.
This is the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I got that.
I'll do it.
Yeah. You can be a copy of them. Yeah, I have it. I don't know for them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 pages. We do the same thing. For the super.
You want to say,
Got full knowledge. Special-
I'm sorry?
What's it say?
Different addresses,
Hey,
same ownership.
yeah.
I know what you're doing. They're the same people.
Want that off the, okay. Want that off the,
Okay, okay. No, they can help. So that means automatic one. That's all. Well, let's see if they come. This one, the freedom is 5. Yes, they're right here. So we can leave the one. This one. Okay, one. He's here, he's gonna change it into the thing to full fledged. Yeah, he's here for you. Yeah, that's what he wants. These two local votes, but these two are just. So I do these three, so I do those for it's these two. Okay. I don't know, issues that we probably won't go about. Once we go to fast. And we would like a little solution to. Okay, it's just the, it's the panel. Okay, so maybe, what you call it, verbal or one of the NCOs or something. Yes. We could do that. Do you want to start or want Captain Turner comes?
Yeah, we can start, and I thought we're done going over this, then you could do.
Introduce.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Public Safety Committee, Committee Board 7. Cynthia Shepherd, and I'm the chair.
Jeremy, and the,
Thank you. I want to thank my committee members for being with us here today. Let's start with attendance.
When I call your name, just acknowledge it. Let's start with Cynthia Jeffers.
Present.
Thank you. Jerry Chan.
Present.
Thank you. John Body. Vino Morales Escamilla. Ken Fung. Hector Gonzalez, Moshe Heck, Barbara Lee, Elijah Lynn, Sam Lynn, Roberto Martinez. Thank you, Roberto. You are in attendance, but you don't count towards quorum. Jamie Nelson.
Here.
Thank you. Kamala Ramos. Edward Schloman. Sam Sierra. Kalina Sorma.
Here.
Thank you. Jimmy Wu. Thank you. You do not, you're in attendance, but you don't count towards quorum. You do not have a quorum.
So we're going to begin the conversation. Today we are going to discuss, and we will have a full board meeting on October 9th to have the board vote on it, but we are here to discuss some applications for a cannabis as well as some liquor licenses that we have received here at the community board. We are going to start with the only dispensary, the retail dispensary from Dispo BK LLC, which will be located at 584 4th Avenue. So we have a representative. You just come to the podium, introduce yourself.
Hi, good evening. My name is Lauren Bruitt. I'm a cannabis business attorney, and I own a small law firm, Bruitt Law Firm, with offices in New York City, Jersey City, and currently in Latin America. I came to the cannabis industry originally in my mother's end of life care in 2009. My practice is now nearly 100% cannabis, with exceptions for ancillary industries such as biotech and agtech and psychedelics. I deliver a ton of legal education through virtually every major legal education platform, including the Practice Law Institute, the New York State, New York City Bar Association, Federal Bar Association, the International Cannabis Bar Association, and I also deliver a ton of business education through virtually every single major local and national cannabis conference. Each of the attorneys who work at the law group are distinguished policy advocates in the space. We are delighted to present this BK LLC for a cannabis retail dispensary in our community board tonight. By this overview, I will provide you with background information for the applicant entity. I'll also give you information concerning the premises for the applicant and operate. I'll also provide you with an operational timeline, some of the steps taken, and steps still to take as the applicant prepares to open its doors with its public. And also an introduction to its plan to bring impact, which is particularly relevant as it's today.
Can I ask you one quick question? The applicant himself is not here.
The applicant himself, Deepan Patel, is living in Chicago right now. He surrounded himself by a team of industry professionals who I will talk about a little bit more in detail.
Okay, so he's not a New York resident.
He's not in New. But he does have extensive ties to the New York area through all his experience in healthcare and tech. Okay. So on October 10th, 2024, the applicant received notification from the New York State Office of Cannabis Management that his application for a cannabis business license was granted at our premises. So we are delighted to present the applicant tonight and its plans to make a community impact there, as well as address any questions that its operations. Dispo BK is a minority-owned business, 100% owned by Deepan Patel, which is Chicago resident. His ties to the park are his background in real estate tech and healthcare. The vast majority of his experience lies in project management, Microsoft Visio systems, and implementation, including various client-facing roles, which are critical to understanding any retail operation. He's also an investor in holdings in virtually 10 hotels and 3 medical clinics, ensuring operational and financial success. He can flip side and function systems, ensuring an optimal customer experience no matter the environment. While Deepan is the sole owner of the dispensary, he is not a one person show. As noted, he did surround himself with an impressive team of industry professionals who had extensive experience operating client and successful retail and delivery establishments, mostly in the Bay Area and California, throughout the state there. Specifically, Deepan works with David Nola, who's his anticipated CEO and chief legal officer, Ryan Murphy, an anticipated CFO, Miguel Mack, who's anticipated COO, and Chloe Blano, their HR and union delegate. Would you like me to provide information and background on each of them, or should I move on to the premises? Okay,
We will move on to the premises.
So Dispo applied for its cannabis retail dispensary license in your community district at the premises located at the building known as 584 to 588 4th Avenue. It chose that premise, having a long-standing relationship with the owner of the building, Ed Cone, whose family owns multiple commercial real estate buildings throughout New York City. The space is approximately 2,000 square feet located on the first floor within a larger building, largely residential, on the southwest corner of Prospect Avenue and Fourth Avenue, conveniently located near the R7 line. The premise is surrounded by luxury residential buildings in various phases of construction. Neighboring businesses also include multiple coffee shops, fitness studios, and its planned designs include wood paneling, plant and mechanical accents, a comfortable lounge and sitting area. We do not anticipate extensive construction, roughly 2 months or so. The premise itself meets all state required distance and setback requirements that are promulgated by the Office of Campus Management. The closest school, PS 124, is 3.5 blocks north on 4th Avenue, across the avenue, and over 1,000. Note that the regulations require at least 5 feet. The closest house of worship is Free Methodist Church, also across 4th Avenue and around the corner on 16th Street, over 500 feet away. Regulations require only 200 feet there. The closest dispensaries appear active, although it's hard to tell whether they're open yet. At 5th Avenue and 14th Street, approximately 1,500 feet away, and another at approximately half mile or 2,600 feet away at 3rd Avenue between 10th and 11th. And dispensaries have to be, as of now, roughly have to be 1,000 feet apart from each other. Although the Office of Cannabis Management is anticipating a waiver process to use that in the future, but that is so. There do not appear to be any pending dispensaries. As noted, the premise does not need a lot of work, just 2 months of construction with the addition of new flooring, partitions, and shelving. We anticipate that training will commence as soon as construction is complete. We will open the doors to the public a few weeks later, subject to Office of Cannabis Management approvals. If we need a new CFO, I don't think that we do. We would then submit a certificate to the state taxing authorities to collect sales tax, conduct virtual inspection with the OCM, engage in inventory reporting, and then we would receive our approvals to open and commence cannabis sales. So ways to go. The company intends to offer the storefront and delivery retail operations, but has no plans to offer on-site consumption at this time. As required by the New York State cannabis laws, the company has already entered into a labor peace agreement with Local 388 of the Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union, which includes the Health and Welfare Fund. The company is mindful that a unionized workforce is frequently more compliant and safer workforce than non-unionized, and is eager to establish a neutral environment where its personnel has the freedom to explore the benefits of joining the union, particularly one that represents as many cannabis supporters as Local 388. Though only pre-operational leadership of the company is used to working in a unionized setting, and its plan is to prioritize local and community hiring. That is a great job, with an emphasis, of course, on diversity and inclusion to maintain the company's minority owned. The company is very mindful of the required workforce training requirements, including the Responsible Workforce Training Program, which is slated to commence at least 30 days prior to performing any licensed activities. This training includes cannabis safety and responsibility course, cannabis management, a cannabis workforce responsibility course, implicit bias training and cultural competency, and at least 2 other hours of training intended to assist employees best protect employee rights. In addition, the company has contracted with Atlas LLC for point-of-sale software systems designed as an inception to CPA software to enable the company to stay compliant, notwithstanding the dynamic and ever-changing nature of the cannabis laws. The system involves compliance and reporting with API integration and automation, complete plant tracking, receipt sale, employee management software to help control and manage income and expenses, including customer-facing kiosks and options. The company intends to sell all manner of cannabis products and not cannabis merchandise themselves. The company intends to contract with Sapphire Risk Consulting, which is the cannabis industry's premier security firm, in order to ensure regulatory compliance and ongoing safety of the people. To this end, we anticipate, as required by the state, at least 24-hour video surveillance to perimeter security, age verification processes, secured entry and limited access areas where cannabis products may be stored, adequate lighting, etc. So moving a little bit on to community impact, I just said a lot about the items. Anyone have questions?
No, you could finish and then we'll ask all the questions.
So as the award of disposal license is fairly new, DISPO is just now starting to really dig into the various mechanisms by which it seeks to be a good neighbor and make a positive community impact. In this regard, in largely bilingual fashion, we expect DISPO to engage directly with the local police and understand and address any security concerns for use. DISO will create systems by which it will address any concerns from the broader community, including maintaining an open door. It's eager to service all members of the community and position itself as approachable and transparent. I anticipate it will provide easily accessible contact information, ensuring internal lines of communication, prioritizing correspondence with the community board. It plans to attend and participate in community events, fashion, real estate. They know that the success of their store is dependent upon their ability to truly know their customers. Do intend to send them. And the company's principals also intend to join community local organizations such as the Brooklyn Park Slope Chambers of Commerce. They do seek to engage with other local offices, constituents, market rise and fall. In addition, the DISO team has regularly interacted with your community board with updates on community planning and execution. To this end, DISO intends to include you in any newsletters and materials it provides to its customers and other stakeholders. It hopes to identify a specific point person with whom to interact concerning the community board or issues that the community board deems important. DISO hopes to schedule at least an annual meeting to review progress and KPIs and establish each other. So ultimately, DISO is eager to invite the community into its establishment and contribute to the diverse and vibrant culture that Park Slope is most attractive. And so we do welcome your questions.
Okay, thank you for that. I do have a couple of questions for you. Before we start, do you have a signed and executed lease on the location?
We do.
Okay, because we have approved this particular location in the past and that was not presented. So I just want to make sure, so that would be part of your submission with the question.
Yes, I have questions.
I also had a question regarding the video security. You said it would be 24-hour video surveillance. So on 24 hours, how long would it be seeing the video?
There is a requirement by law. I want to say at least 6, but go back and check. But it would be at least a requirement by law, and sometimes a little bit longer because I like to be into, a complete picture as to how the people are.
Okay, so there have issues and concerns regarding at the particular train station of some encampments that have been made. The police will work very hard to remove those encampments. So what is it that, I know you said you have stuff, and I know it's outside the country, but what are some things that you feel that you guys could do to mitigate that? To make people feel safe actually going to your dispensary?
Of course. Creating welcoming environments, of course. I would want to defer to security specialists. It's certainly not my area of expertise, but really understanding it's a human interaction. So doing our best, not to destabilize what could be otherwise the only sense of home or entertainment that these residents have. So my instinct is that they want to take a very humanitarian approach, but at the same time, a very firm understanding that type of loitering is illegal in order for them to operate there. They promised the state that in operating this dispensary that they would keep the surrounding areas free from loitering and free from people in the area that can create a crowd or create an unsafe situation there. So my instinct is that I'll make it a top priority with the security consultants who have expertise and experience dealing with such things, particularly in the city.
Okay, now, we have the sons too here. They are going to present in a little bit about the location and stuff and any problematic areas. But one of the expectations of you guys do work with 7-2 on the NCO officers to create a safety plan for the safety of everyone.
Yeah. So I don't want to do anything consistent with what
So more on the train station, there is scrutiny by even say 3.5 o'clock. But how my question was right? How are you preventing the kids hanging out or even stopping by because that's on the way to the train station? Are you block the entrance so the things people cannot see in? I don't think they do that.
No, I was gonna ask, are we doing like ID to get in with the
making sure patients know that they're allowed to speak at the sensory and say more.
Yes.
So HR patients should have right at the door for able to all the time. In situations where we do have visitors on outside, and security, out front, to make sure that people are safe arriving, because security presence concerns and deterrent for kids.
Yeah, I think the concern is because the subway station, naturally people gather there. It's right at the corner, right? So the train station believe it's unsafe. You're there at the corner. So kids gather, they out, they're not necessarily want to maybe go, they maybe to have strict regulations to get in. It's the loitering part because it's so near stuff. It's a popular station that people use. You know, has, and it's under the underpass. Protected, if it's raining, it's cold, you drive by, you see kids hanging out there, and, you know, like I said, there has been issues with homeless in town. In that particular station, and it's getting bigger.
You know, my understanding is that frequently the presence of if you don't associated with the security can deter, you know, this type of activity from occurring.
I mean, like, there's mattresses.
Yeah.
Like,
So that's,
people live there.
okay,
Me too. So if I could just introduce yourself, as far as nice to meet you. So a couple concerns. I've been in command for about 19 months. I just believe everyone we have homeless encampment there. That's a huge issue. I actually had the residents of the building next door, come down to the precinct to sit down with me to try to think of things that we can put together. They're even trying to work with, senators, council people to put through certain laws to address the situation, because right now we follow the protocol every week of what's expected for us of how to address the homeless situation now. Now, with the residents coming to me with the homeless situation, someone mentioned the back mattresses, we do cleanups every week with sanitation. Now, my concern is a couple things with the cannabis location being directly across the street from the residents. Number one, could that increase the complaints from the residents that now we have a cannabis location across the street? Is there a preschool right there? There's one of the residents came to me about a school, maybe it's the one that you referred to.
there is a school that is far away. On Google Maps, there looks to be a daycare around the corner and down.
Daycare on the corner.
The daycare on the corner.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so I'm thinking of the daycare.
Traditionally fall into the preschool zone type. Not those aren't the types of children that are generally.
No, of course not. No, I'm just trying to couple all bases. Where the community can with this. Number one, like I said, the main complaint right now is the encampment that we're working on together with the building next door. So, I don't know if this would increase community complaints having the cannabis, location directly across from this spot. And the homeless situation is being worked on. It's been there probably way longer than I've been a police officer. This situation's going on for a long time. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of that situation there, and we're not, I guess, increasing with the loitering. And I don't know what complaints may come from you guys, but also too, what are you guys storing in the store overnight? Is money going to be stored in the store overnight? Are we going to be doing drop offs?
I think, you know, there will be all of that activity happening. Money is very safely secured and limited access for calls, or states. You know, so it's very difficult to access these facilities. So the security components are very intense and required by state. In any event, store owners simply want to protect their inventory. If this is, I'm hearing you, and this seems to be a huge problem, and my clients most definitely will want to jump in and embrace this problem with you and figure out how best to address it.
If you guys can just there, like just walk the area, just travel around.
Minutes since I've been here. My client certainly was maybe, you know, just last week, he was here in town visiting with the owner of building. I personally have not been made aware of the situation. My instinct is that they saw it themselves, so now that we know this is a significant concern, community board, I will of course discuss with my client and figure out exactly, work with our community, our security consultants to address this issue, and I'd be delighted to present you with a security plan.
Yes.
To answer those specific questions you have on the different security components, how, you know, we protect our security, and also keep in mind that we cannot have a storefront where the canvas is visible from the outside. So
On the, right, so, that's the exit at the prospect right there. So you get a lot of foot traffic for the trains plus a lot of cars right now. So it draws a lot of attention. That links to a bunch of areas. You cut usually down there to either get to Third Avenue, get to Fourth, or you can get to the expressway by then. So foot traffic plus vehicle traffic is heavy right there on that corner. So I think it's just something that we should bring up to take into consideration, specifically on that corner running, you know, our 311 jobs, our 911 jobs that we get on a daily basis. The number one that we just brought up is our homeless. So just understand the severity of the situation, and we are working with the community and with, Department of Homelessness out there with everyday sanitation So you're gonna see a large presence of police officers with sanitation, with, Red Cross, Department of Homeless Shelter, we're all out there together doing operations on a weekly basis. So,
For the update, letting us know that there is, that operation, because I know it's a concern. So one of the stipulations that we would have is that we would work with both the 72nd, the NCOs assigned, as well as community members to see what could be done, with that homeless encampment and for safety. The preschool, Danielle will look into it, we'll get the exact address. 25th. And we're maybe around the corner, so we'll get that information as well, just to make sure that they're aware of it. I know it's not a school, but we do like, to consider sensitive areas, we call it in our community, where children and parents do gather. And like I said, we advocate for responsible cannabis rather than illegal use of cannabis, and the 72nd Precinct has done a great job along with the state to shut down a lot of the illegal shops. We just want to make sure that we have everything and all our community. That has always been an issue. It's brought up constantly at the community board meetings, and that is a particularly hot train station because of that.
Okay, well, we look forward to amplifying your efforts and contributing this.
So I got two more questions before. So, you mentioned you guys will be doing.
Yes.
So, when are you guys leaving those cars at? Like, no parking?
So it could be, their deliveries allowed in their, site, there's lots of different ways by which with the cannabis. So they will have a delivery plan, and again, I'm happy to present that robust delivery plan to you, when it's full prepared, and probably even submitted with materials that are being worked on. The Office of Cannabis Management requires us to have a delivery plan. Once we do start to engage in delivery operations, as soon as that happens, we'll be sure to, touch base with you and let you know what the stuff, how we tend to make sure that's a safe and compliant.
Okay, no.
when was the estimated date of when to be up and running? Like, when are going to be up and running by?
So we started.
The goal of when to be up and running?
Cannabis management in terms of approvals, but the construction timeline is approximately 2 months. Once we're done with construction, we will, if we need a new CFO, we would submit that. If we don't, we would get a virtual inspection. There are some initial inventory reporting. How much inventory? It's going to take a couple of days or a couple of weeks. So after construction is complete, I would say, maybe, anywhere between 2 to 8 weeks to get open for public,
So you're talking after the new year?
really hope not, but, that's on the date, that's on the date.
That's what I'm saying, 2 months construction, yes,
Yeah, that's
so late December. So you're looking after January of January 25, that's
hopefully.
so hoping.
So, well, I just said earlier, he's not from here, he's from Chicago.
That was my question.
So it might take a while.
So, in the cannabis industry, licenses are location specific. So when you have a relationship with the landlord, as they did in this case, it becomes very important to be like, without, difficulty. Very frequently in cannabis, buildings are covered by a mortgage. Landlords don't understand what it means to contract with a cannabis company. There are a variety of unique business concerns that many landlords are just frankly turned off. So when we find a landlord, who is willing and eager to participate in the cannabis industry, we want to look at all their portfolio. We recognize this neighborhood is becoming and diverse and exciting. That area in particular has a traffic, and some neighbors that, we see welcome to this type of establishment. There also doesn't appear to be a lot of competition in the area, from the state cannabis dispensary. Legal ones anyway. But I think that of all of the areas in New York, this is certainly attractive to the one there.
And you did mention that there was some other properties he had hotels. Any in community board 7?
Nothing in community board 7.
Nothing in community board. So this would be the first thing that the person has in community board 7.
Right.
May I ask, what are the ways, Jim, we're gonna give you a mic. All right.
I got
Those expenses, John, or is it in Chicago?
Yes, I think Jane is gonna ask that.
So what I want to ask is, how many other properties does this particular landlord own in New York? And do we know of any violation properties? Because I'm really kind of curious as to how someone from Chicago. New York City, and really,
Real estate dealing, working in investment finance and working in hospitality and working in tech. just developing an extensive network of professionals nationwide.
I guess what I'm trying to get at is typically quality of landlord might reflect on his company or the quality of the business that might be coming in. And that's why I'm curious as to where the other.
They're in New York. They are here, yeah.
They are here.
Or I believe so. I can probably dig up some information and follow that if you like.
And are they all under the same LLC?
Usually not, for a liability purpose. That I'm not sure if you guys would like to hold all the things under my LLC. I hear you, and if you'd like additional information on
Yeah.
the landlord, we'd be happy to.
Yeah, again, my concern is he's from Chicago. And it's what does he want with us? Right, so.
He does want to provide a very meaningful community impact with a beautiful compliant service and provide jobs.
And his
I
one,
know everyone tells us that. I just, to be honest.
and it is one of the questions in the question and answers, so you don't just say the names and locations of any businesses owned by the applicant or partners on it, so that would be disclosed, Jamie, so we can take a look at that, that's a good point, thank you, Kalina?
Hi, good evening. I have two questions. One question is, what are the proposed hours of operation?
So we're not allowed, I believe, to operate between the hours of 4 and 8. Stages of operation really, cannabis dispensaries don't just open with its full staffing. There's going to be a little bit of a ramp up. So we really want to get to know our customer, really understand, what the hours will support there. So as of right now, I think, I truly am not sure. I'll have to look to see what they disclose in their application. As of right now, they gave themselves flexibility to determine hours of operation. I believe that was one of your questions. They'll follow up once they, confirm that. Again, a lot of this has to do with they're going to bring a security consultant in. Now is the time for them to start really investigating on the secret adjustment.
Second question is, what's the plan to ensure compliance with, the amount of marijuana or gummies that's.
So that was the hourly contract that I had referred to earlier, which is a state mandated point of sale system. And then there will be a complete state mandated seed to sale system that will integrate with this point of sale system in order to ensure that every single gram and dollar is tracked when it comes in and when it comes out. Protecting against diversions.
I do have one more question. So this is not the first time we actually see the application for this location. The other application was withdraw or got, I can't remember exactly what happened. It was something to do with the mortgage situation.
It was a federally held mortgage, so has that situation changed?
Yes, it will be, if there was it must be because otherwise they're going to default on their mortgage instrument. So my instinct is that they either refinance or they got some sort of subordination, where they were able to get a non-disturbance from their existing mortgage or for the permitted use. But that would be, a disqualifying factor for this premise if it were a breach of the underlying mortgage.
Yeah, because the last applicant also gave us a lease and executed lease, and then that happened after.
So this lease does have a representation that there would be no, that the entry of the lease doesn't result in the violation of any other instrument with the landlord may be a party. So my understanding is that the party did work through this issue and specifically shows this because it would be possible to use.
So no federally held mortgage.
But you're right, there is one that they were to get some sort of subordination and non-disturbance understanding, which is
Okay, are there any other questions?
Anybody from the public?
Anybody from the public?
No,
What, we have someone online?
you just ask. Folks.
Folks online, any questions?
Ask them to raise their hand.
Raise your hand, please.
None.
Seeing none, okay, we're gonna thank you. We are waiting for questionnaires, so just so everybody's aware, we just asked the applicants to fill out a questionnaire. They had 5 days to fill it out.
something like that. I didn't see that I may ask for one. So if that's what you responded.
Yeah, I think. So yeah, so we would have it, so we do have a meeting October 9th for board meeting.
Okay.
So if you want us to hear it then, we would need it at least by the end of the week, right? So we could review
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends on how much.
Yeah.
you feel you
it
need.
by Friday or Monday, so that we could take a look at it, review it, and if there's anything missing. And then some of the concerns just to go back over it, that you could, but that, but it'll be part of the stipulation, is working with the NCO and stuff that can say for the encampment, for the delivery plan, as well as finding out the exact hours of operation, as well as disclosing any business location for this LLC or any This LLC. Okay, so any others that are owned by Deepak Patel or any other partners? Yep. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, up next, we have M&M Deli. And he is here, the owner is Ramon. And I believe Ramon is going to speak in Spanish. So I'm not sure you don't have- Okay, Ramon has a new location at 5001 4th Avenue. It's currently a bodega that has a buffet deli. They are going to open it. Ramon has plans to open it into a full restaurant at 5001 4th Avenue. And he is here to talk to us a little bit about as he is going to speak in Spanish. I will summarize to afterwards. I told him he is welcome to speak in the language he feels most comfortable. And, bienvenido. Se puede hablar en español, como le dije, entonces yo le voy a decir lo que ellos están diciendo en inglés, y si tienen preguntas se lo digo. Coge el micrófono y lo puede hacer un poquito más alto para que todo el mundo lo oiga. Gracias, Ramón.
Noche. Mi nombre es Ramón Orlando Moronta. Estoy abriendo el restaurante en la 501 de la Cuarta Avenida. Este local yo lo cogí nuevo ahora. Estaba un poquito descuidado, estoy tratando de arreglarlo para darle mejor servicio a la comunidad. Era un deli grill, pero quiero ahora ponerlo un restaurante, deli restaurant.
¿Lo puede decir un poquito de usted, Ramón? So Ramón said he's new. He bought this Italian grill at 5001 4th Avenue. It's been a little bit neglected, but he has plans to fix it into a full-fledged restaurant.
Spanish food.
Spanish food, a Spanish food restaurant. O eso, right under the Spanish food. ¿Le puede decir un poquito de usted, de dónde usted es, qué experiencia usted tiene, teniendo negocios, cosas así? I just asked him to give us a little bit of background who he is, any other businesses that he has had in the past, and why here in Texas.
Sí, yo soy de la República Dominicana y trabajo en NYU. Tengo 25 años. Quiero tener algo antes de retirarme de NYU para poder seguir, porque la vida mía es seguir trabajando, porque me encanta el trabajo. No puedo estar tranquilo. So, yo estoy en NYU en ingeniería. So, yo tengo otro restaurante en el Bronx, discoteca, en East Spring, Southern Boulevard. Tengo ya, desde el 2013 estoy ahí, y tenía bodega antes en Staten Island, no sé, ya unos del 96 hasta ahora, y ahora estoy aquí, quiero darle un servicio bueno a la comunidad.
Okay, so he currently works at NYU in the engineering department. He runs this restaurant so he can establish a legacy for himself and his family. They have a restaurant right now in the Bronx at the East Street on Road since 2013. He's also owned a store in Staten Island. And he just wants to come here to give a good service to the community and build his future for himself.
Bueno, muchas gracias a todos y espero que un día me visiten por allá y ya ustedes saben que vamos a tener un buen servicio.
He said, you know, he hopes everyone could visit the restaurant when it opens up and get good service. Are there any questions or concerns? It is at 5001 4th Avenue, which is the corner of 50th and 4th, happens to be my block. No me parece que tengo block.
Ok,
En el medio del bloque.
me va a estar pendiente.
Are there any concerns about this particular location in terms of 311 and 911 that the applicant should be aware of? I know it is the B11 bus stop. It is a pretty quiet block. Me living there, I can tell you that.
Zero concerns, no 911s, no 301s for the vicinity of that area for all time.
So, ella dice que en esa área no ha habido ningún 911. Entonces, bien callado en este bloque, tengamos el autobús 11, pero no hay ningunos problemas por ahora en este bloque. Robert? Mike? Yes. Go ahead, Robert, we'll give it the license.
I will be doing.
Liquor license. It's the liquor license. It's a restaurant. So the application, thank you for telling me that, it is a restaurant with a full menu and a full kitchen. It is not a bar. It is a restaurant that will be serving alcohol.
¿Quién es dueño ahora y cuánto tiempo tú eres dueño de eso?
Ahora mismo yo tengo 3 meses. ¿No? Sí.
He's been the owner for 3 months, Roberto. Asked, how long have you been? So he's the new owner, 3 months. Bienvenido, y vive por aquí, Ramón, todavía en el Bronx.
Todos los días para allá y también voy a trabajar aquí.
Okay. Are there any other questions for Ramón? No. Okay, gracias, Ramón. Si tengamos otra pregunta, lo dejamos saber. Octubre 9, vamos a estar enteros. Usted va bienvenido a venir y hablar con la junta entera que va a estar aquí el miércoles. Sigan sus emails que Natasha le va a mandar el email a ver si hay otra cosa que necesitamos, pero por ahora todo está bien.
Muchas gracias a todos.
Y entonces la inspectora de la policía tiene oficiales que van a conocer para que usted le diga los planes y cualquier cosa que le diga. So you invite him to the NCO meeting so he can get to know the NCO officers. So he's aware.
Bienvenidos. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, up next, do we have anyone from 294 LLC, La Cafe Nostras and Lounge located at 4106 Second Avenue? No one. Okay, so many of you are aware in this committee that we had a lot of concerns regarding the corridor of Second Avenue. As the applicant is not here, I am not inclined to move this forward. I don't know if our committee members have anything to say about that. We have had this is at 4106 Second Avenue. We have had previous board meetings where community members from 45th Street between Second and Third, 46th Street between Second and Third have expressed concerns about that particular corridor. I know this 72nd precinct has stepped up on that corridor. We have urban air on Second Avenue and about 6 restaurants and lounges that are operating on temporary 24-hour liquor licenses constantly. So they are not here to tell us about their plan. I know Deputy Inspector Suarez, Second Avenue, that corridor. I just shared that there has been some issues and concerns. The person is not here to let us know his plans. 4106 Second Avenue.
That's a deli.
Is 294 LLC, La Cafe Nostra and Lounge.
Yeah.
So I know we had a lot of issues regarding the Second Avenue corridor with people with the temporary licenses. And they're not here, so I'm not inclined to move forward. Any comments? No? Okay, so we will, since they're not here, I cannot hear what they have to say, we're moving forward. Is there anyone here? These two seem to be connected. 5507 Fifth Avenue and 4803 Fifth Avenue. Yes? Okay. ¿Cómo se llama? Diego Santa Cruz. Bienvenidos. Lo que usted desea, puede hablar español o en inglés. ¿De cuál local quiere hablar primero? ¿Son los dos suyos? ¿De cuál quiere hablar primero? Okay, vale. So he is here, he has 2 applications. One is 4803 Fifth, and one is 5507 Fifth Avenue. And he's going to tell us a little bit about himself. This is new application. ¿Hablan español?
English.
English, you will speak in English and let us know a little bit. So please let us know a little bit about yourself and about your 2 locations, what they currently are, and what are your plans for them.
Sure, 5507 Fifth Avenue, we opened about 2 years ago. We serve the community of Hispanic food from Guatemala, typical food from Guatemala, and we've been growing constantly. And that's why we opened another location on 4803 Fifth Avenue. And for now, we decided to serve wine because everybody comes to dinner, that they want to have wine and beer. And our business operation is just a regular restaurant. It's not a bar restaurant. So we're just seeking the beer license.
So are you seeking to do a full bar or just wine and beer?
Just wine and beer.
Just wine and beer? No full bar?
No.
No full bar.
That's the liquor license. Now we just need the beer, wine and cider license.
So no va ningún licor, va vino, cerveza. ¿Esto es lo que está buscando? Is this such a thing, just wine and beer?
Yeah, you can just find it.
Okay, so just wine, beer, and cider for for both locations. So no hard liquor. Okay. Are there any questions from the community? Any concerns regarding these locations from the 72nd district, that the applicant should be made aware.
The location of 55507.
55.
Okay, no, everything looks good for that. There was a couple 911 calls, but that's just from, jewelry store next door.
Yeah,
Yeah, just a couple of disorderlies went over there, nothing in relation to 5507. But for 4803 Fifth Avenue, next door, we have 4805 Fifth. Is that connected or is that a separate location with you?
that's separate.
Okay,
That's our business.
what exactly is it?
I think it's like another door.
Is it a bar or a deli?
No, it's not a door. We don't have one.
We have a lot of calls for, in-house sales application. Or intoxicated males, throughout the year. I think we have couple calls, disputing the location, a male on the floor can't move. So my concern is Fifth Avenue is busy.
Yeah.
We have a lot of drinking, a lot of partying goes on Fifth. If we're gonna do wine and beer, I don't see, usually come forward for liquor stuff, but we just like to make sure, we're gonna have bartenders.
Yeah, we have one.
Oh, so it's not gonna be a bar, it's just gonna be straight up. Okay,
Restaurant.
same thing as anything.
Full menu.
With menu, okay, then just the over serving, it's something I always remind the restaurant as far as make sure we're just paying attention to over serving. A lot of times we deal with Fifth Avenue, is the aftermath coming out after 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
No, we're closed 11.
Oh,
11 p.m. closure. Oh, okay, and wine, beer, and cider at the both location. I would just like you to please be aware of your next door neighbor at 4805. I know you may have some concerns yourself that you may have had as a neighbor. As a business owner, we do get complaints from other neighbors that are other things. Would encourage you to attend the NCO meetings, that the block meetings, because a lot of these issues are addressed, as well as by the Fifth Avenue bid. Because some people may assume they're coming out of your location, and it may be another location. I know teams did a little bit, even though it may not be for you because it's so close to each other. And I know that particular location that Deputy Inspector is talking about has the outside shed, correct? That's not you. Right, that's the outside shed that has to be shut down as well.
So it must be done.
It's still out there.
They're still out there, then they have a pending application.
No, it's not.
Not yet.
Right,
We just got one today, so they may have one in process.
Okay, so are there any questions for this app? No? No? Okay, thank you. ¿Cómo se llama? Just one right, me.
Diego Sanders.
Diego Santa Cruz. Muchas gracias. So Diego, we are going to move forward with it. October 9th will be the full board meeting. So if you're welcome to come back on October 9th in case any of the other board members have any questions. Okay, thank you. Are there any other questions or issues or concerns? What I do? Khalid?
Hi, good evening. Maybe about 3 weeks ago, I received an email about a homeless committee that existed maybe in some pre-COVID even. And I was asked to co-chair it. And I found out that there was a lot of issues with that committee. There was a lot of hostility and things of that nature. And one of the suggestions was to see if they could be incorporated into the public safety. And it actually came up in this meeting. So I wanted to see if moving forward there could be some time dedicated to seeing what we can do about the homeless person.
Yeah, actually, Jamie brought that up earlier too. So our next, we are going to have that, we will be calling a meeting in November. Talk about the homeless shelters and cabins, some things that are happening in the community with that. So thank you for bringing it up. It has been a public safety concern that has been brought up quite often. So we are going to incorporate it in the next meeting in November to talk about that. Some of the efforts that are being made by NYPD, DSNY, and going into the colder months, as well as the shelters. As you know, we get shelters and we're told, if we're told, sometimes we're not even informed of them, they just come up. And we try to keep up with them, but that is an issue of concern of public safety, and we want everyone to be safe. Especially now that they may be going into the subways and seeking warmer areas.
What date is that meeting?
It would be in November. I will let you know the exact date. I have to check with Natasha the availability of everyone, but we will make sure that it's advertised widely.
Are you gonna be discussing on this
Your name,
issue?
please?
Don Gabor.
Don,
And
welcome.
My wife and I live on 23rd Street between Fourth and Fifth Avenue for 36 years now. Anyway, my question to you is, there is a shelter, in the progress of being, you nodding your head, and everybody probably knows it's in the progress, it's being built in some form or another. I'm not sure it's being done according to, how the rules of these shelters are supposed to be.
It would be included.
Okay, so we would like to,
Yes,
focus
so
on
make
that.
sure that you have that. So if you're on the community board mailing, if not, just make sure you are. If you got notice about today's meeting, you'll get notice about that meeting as well.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
That's the one that we're concerned.
Okay, and I know yesterday, Jeremy, a couple of things came up at the expense meeting. And we said bring it up today to deputy inspector.
Oh,
Well, we have it here, do we remember? I know what was the moped items to public property, including trees, light poles, gates, and what enforcement efforts were being made for that. And what was it?
Walking, the walking.
And then the illegal parking on Fifth Avenue, 8th Avenue, double park, etc. Yes, you may go, thank you.
All right, in regards to the moped, there's always a hot. Just discussing it earlier, at the council meeting about a few weeks ago. We've been out there, we actually had a bunch of trucks come in, Patrol Service Bureau, great, works great with us. You know, we have an issue here with mopeds lead to crimes, unfortunately. Which we try to identify that before addressing the situation, but with the mopeds that are being left on the sidewalk, tied to trees, tied to gates, it's gonna be taken. We try to do our best to, we try to go out in the middle of the night, to be honest with you. We try to go out in later hours because we don't want to cause tons of complications with people. We don't want people coming out and addressing and get confrontations, which leads to arrest. So we try to do it in a safely manner to drive around. We do random checks throughout the week when we have the resources, as well as we use our big barrier truck that you probably see parked outside the 7-2 precinct to load these mopeds safely and after take them and bring them back to the precinct. The next morning, people usually come in as long as they can provide some form of identification and show that the moped is registered. That's the issue we're having, is the ones we're taking. I specifically tell my officers to look for the ones that aren't registered, which is, I think, 85 to 90% of the mopeds that are operational in the street right now. We've been trying to do education. We're trying to reach out to have an increase of shelters, which someone brought up. We have a lot of mopeds that have been parking at these locations, which I'm getting a lot of complaints of. We just don't like to go in there and just show up and take people's forms of transportation. So we have community affairs, our crime prevention, reaching out to these locations, trying to do presentations and touch base and let people know we have to do our best, trying to get these mopeds registered. Unfortunately, the education comes from the stores, and they're going, from what I hear, some few laws are going to be changed soon, right around the corner about, I think it's going to be
January,
when they're going to have
Senator
to, when you buy a moped, you're going to have it registered. So hopefully this will change for the better. I don't know if that'll hopefully decrease the amount of mopeds on the road. But we are out there and we are looking for them if they are illegally parked, if they are not registered, no name to it, and if we tie them up to property, sidewalks, gates, trees, maybe we won't get you that night, but we're gonna come out the following night, the following week, and we try to clip them, take them safely and bring them back to the station house. And the only way to get them back is you gotta provide form of identification and registration. If you don't have it, then you gotta work on getting that in order to get them moped back.
Question, if someone sees a cluster of bikes on, on a particular street, they said they live on 23rd Street, they happen to see a cluster of 10 bikes tied, they contact the precinct, or they contact 311, what is the best method to get it addressed quickly? Because some people say they call 311, it gets closed, and so what is the best method for them to report this?
I would say it's definitely, in my eyes, I would say it's, a 911 call is more for emergency. You have the cops running around address emergency. This is something that takes time. When I go, I was with the cops till 4 o'clock in the morning last week, checking locations, checking blocks. So if you could put them in 311, or if anything, you reach out to Cynthia, I don't know how many community board, they send me the pictures. I get someone over there within the matter of a week or so. I'll try to set something up to come down with the various truck when we can and safely take them off of these sidewalks.
And I have to say, I've seen them in action.
Oh, I see you guys taking to it. I had a question. And then I've been seeing increases. So I ride the bike all the time, particularly with my kid in the morning. I've been seeing a lot of proper motor scooters. And I had a Harley behind me in the bike lane this week. And I'm wondering if there's a way you guys can do a sting or start pulling these guys over because, and then there's also little kids on these things without helmets. I mean, and it's constantly in the bike lane. And again, school's back in session. And so we still got these things zipping up and down, but it's the motorized scooters and the proper motorcycle, like actual motorcycle. And I've just seen an increase in. So hopefully maybe you guys can.
Ditto.
Yeah.
So the mopeds, the scooters, the motorcycles, they're everywhere. And I do 100% agree. We see them all the time as well. And I have these guys, I think we're actually 7-2 recent is one of the highest in Brooklyn South.
Where
That takes moped.
Like they don't even care.
Yeah.
That they ride past it. There's hundreds of them. I know.
There's thousands. So for every 4 or 5 we take, there's probably another 10 that come out that day. But it is a hot topic. It's always been, especially in the last year. I feel like it's picked up tremendously. Besides the traffic officers, the patrol officers are always trying to be proactive when they can. These things zigzag, they take people out sometimes. So you guys are always out there, guys and girls always out there trying to do their best to take them off the streets all the time.
You just set up a sting, even in the morning or the afternoon, and
Perhaps one in particular, I know they have the youth coordinating officers up there. Perhaps they could adjust that. Please introduce yourself and welcome to the 72nd precinct.
Captain Turner, executive 77 precinct. I had the traffic safety program. So I'll be working with my team so we can do something about motorized, whatever they do in the bike. We'll figure something out, right?
Thank you so much, Kathy. And I know Jeremy had,
With regard to the bike lanes and misuse, I also want to bring up, particularly on Fourth Avenue, how DOT has now completed the raised crosswalks or raised pedestrian waiting area that was supposed to happen very often that is parked in, making sure that drivers who are trying to turn can now not see the bicyclists approaching. So I think it makes it a much more dangerous situation than it was previously, as cars are now further out from the curb and the vision of the bicyclist or vision of approaching bicyclists is
Just a corner.
all of it down
that
Fourth Avenue.
happened in the
And the reason I bring this up is I recently saw a traffic stat for this community. And parking violations, double parking, all of those numbers are really low in this precinct. And
You have to remember that number doesn't only come from 72 precinct, it comes from all traffic citywide that comes numbers for this location.
so I understand that, but the one I saw that I was astounded by was a 28-day number of 11 double parking tickets in the entire precinct. I could probably get that in an hour on this block. Are there any plans to increase parking enforcement and hydrants at these, in the turning lanes themselves on some occasions, in the crosswalks? It just makes the situation much more dangerous for pedestrians and bicyclists.
No, there definitely is obviously always a plan to do a little bit better. I'll take a glance at that myself. We just got a new executive officer who started yesterday. She's going to be overseeing the traffic program. She's actually sitting down with the traffic team this week, and this is something we have to bring to the table to address. Also, like I said, these numbers don't only come from the 72nd precinct. They do come at one point. It seems like in the past years, we did have an increase of traffic officers that walk the beat on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, the whole evidence, and things have changed with certain where manpower needs to be. There's less manpower where may need be, but the highway inspector actually reached out to me recently. They're willing to offer resources when need be. Sometime, I think yesterday, so we could definitely set something up where we do.
I'd also like to, thank you. I'd also like to bring up, we get these complaints particularly around MTA stations. around, construction sites, about people using, either a hat, or, construction vest in their window, and people see them parking all over the place illegally and not getting summons.
Well, they do get summons, and if that comes over to 301, I can tell you to be sure, we have a chief who inspects every single 301 that comes straight from high above. There's a call for a 301 with a plaque, some sort of city agency uniform emblem vest. It goes straight to the top and it gets handled. We look into it and the summons does get issued.
And
The protocol now,
around this building as well.
the protocol now goes that the sergeant must respond to a location to do a proper investigation to oversee that everything correctly is done.
So we may be able just to give you some locations to keep an extra eye on, Captain Turner.
Yes.
Because I know that Jerry's always concerned about 8th Avenue. And we have 5th Avenue, 4th Avenue, and some particular locations that Jeremy has gotten specific information about. We could share it with them so that they could look at it a little bit. You know. Are there any questions for, Detective, I'm sorry, Deputy Inspector Sorrell or Captain Turner that we have them here with us today? If not, I would like to thank the committee. I would like to thank Deputy Inspector Suarez for being with us. Welcome Captain Turner to the community and to the 72nd, to the applicants that came today. Thank you very much. We will have a full board meeting on October 9th, and I do want to share that for those of you in Sector A, back to the entire community, the next 72nd Community Council meeting will be Tuesday, October 8th at Holy Name Church at 45 Prospect Park West, starting at 7 p.m. And that is for Sector A, which is part of this community. And if anyone's interested, you're welcome to attend that meeting. There are no further questions. I move to adjourn. Your turn. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you all.